looking at me and awakening in this possibility of, I was a 19-year-old nobody, right? 19-year-old nobody. I didn't, nothing, right? People, now you're Robert Dilts. But how do you become Robert Dilts, right? Starting as a 19-year-old nobody. Well, you awaken to the possibility, I can make a difference. This essence has a potential that has a meaning in the world, that I make an impact. I'm not just the isolated ego. And I remember at the end of the first time I was there, right, the 19-year-old nobody, I ended up there with, it was just me and one other guy, and Erickson let us stay in their guest house in Phoenix because I had no money, right? I was a penniless student. And it was me and this other guy named Jeff Zeig, who ended up becoming the head of the Erickson Foundation. But we were two nobodies. And I remember the end of this first session, like Erickson always liked to do little things. He'd hand out something, or see what you did with it. And so if he gave you something and you did this, he'd say, oh, you're left-handed, because you would be doing with your left hand. But this end of this session, he gave us this card that his daughter Roxana had sent him. And on the front of the card, it showed this kind of nerdy guy, kind of like if you think of a nerdy little prince, right? Little Prince, but he's standing on this little planet out in the middle of this universe looking out like this. And it said, when you think of how mysterious and vast the universe is, doesn't it make you feel small and insignificant? And when you opened on the card on the inside, it said, me neither. Right? Why? Because if I'm part of that vast, mysterious, potential, I'm part of it. I'm not separate from it. And that's that awakening, right? I am part of something much bigger than my puny, conscious, cognitive mind is ever going to realize. But if you follow that awakening, then you will continue to awaken. And if you're really good, you may become Robbie Steinhouse. That's right. My awakener.
Well, there we are. There's alarm clock. Hello, it's me. Whoa. No, you're off running. We got very little time. We have to leave because apparently this room is going to be converted into a place of tables. So the last few seconds, I'll just say that this model is a sort of takeaway. You coach people at all these different levels, and each one is energetically different to the other. The behavior coaching, is kind of more nuts and bolts, do this, what's the next step, and so on.
Tools, techniques.
Very different to the energy of the awakener, where you don't want to tread on someone's dream.
We like to say, what is the primary thing you need to do at the level of a mentor, right? You have to be the change. You can't just talk about it. You can't just give the model of it. You got to be it. What's the primary thing you need at the level of a sponsorship? I've got to be present, right? How can I see your essence if I'm not there in my essence, right? If I'm not completely here, somebody was saying, if I'm not all of me here, right? If it's only this part of me and my happy little state, then I'm going to only see your happy little state, and if you get out of it, I'm going to judge it. If I'm there, like somebody like Erickson, who the guy's colorblind, he's tone deaf, he's paralyzed, he's exactly the opposite of Tony Robbins, right? How does this guy change anybody, right? Because he's there, right? This presence sees your presence. To be an awakener, what's the primary thing? You got to be awake, right? If you're asleep, you're not going to wake up anybody else. So you want to be an awakener, starts there, right? Awaken yourself.
Absolutely. And where better to do it?
Oh, now we get back to where we started. Okay, we're coming all the way back down those logical levels.
Sunny California.
This guy learned something
rent a nice convertible as you zoom down the coast and wake up to new possibilities. Okay, thank you very much. We better get going. Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you.